She's been a Labor Party MLA and independent member. Now Alison Anderson has joined the Country Liberals. She says the Country Liberals' policies will better help Aboriginal people improve their lives. The Territory Government insists a deal has been struck and a frontbench place must have been promised. CLP leader Terry Mills acknowledges an agreement was negotiated 2 years ago, but says no deal has been done this time. I spoke with Terry Mills earlier today. Terry Mills, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thanks.
What deal have you done with Alison Anderson to lure her to the CLP?
There's no deal. The issue here is that the political landscape in the Northern Territory has changed. Labor obviously have seen that. Alison has done what I wanted her to do, is to make sure that she does talk to her constituents, those who have supported her, and if they support her in making that courageous step to put her colours on the CLP mast, then that satisfies me. She's made application. There's no deal.
When Alison Anderson left Labor in 2009, you did try to get an agreement with her that would offer her a ministry if she supported the CLP. Does that offer still stand now? At
that time, you've got to understand that there was a lot of movement. There was, Alison and I go back some way, and if there is a desire then to work with me then as an alternative Chief Minister, we need to describe the terms in which that agreement should be conducted. And at that time, I commenced discussions with Alison to formalise what had already had taken place, and that was that she was prepared to work with me. And I think the right thing to do is to then describe the terms at which that working relationship should work. So in terms of what was recorded at that time, Alison and I haven't talked about those details in this occasion, but the same principle applies. Alison has made a courageous decision. She has walked across and she's decided she wants to work with me and with my team. Once we've had that established, now we'll talk about how that's going to operate.
But is that still active, that agreement?
No, that was an agreement for that time, and it was just to get a discussion going. Obviously, a deal was constructed between Paul Henderson and Jerry Wood. Paul Henderson should talk about the deal that he constructed, and that deal was constructed so that he could save his political skin. What you're referring to is a necessary conversation that was to set the terms of an agreement on the basis of having already decided to work together.
But if a deal was done then, has there been a discussion that says that that's no longer relevant? I
think people are missing the point here. It's not about inducements or being lured against one's will. The principle here is that Alison has made a quality decision and she's taken a courageous step, a step I respect and admire. Once that decision has been made, of course it's necessary then to have the conversation. That's what occurred last time. That's what is occurring this time. Alison and I haven't spoken about the details on how the working relationship would operate. The special responsibilities that I have for her, I haven't talked to her about that. For example, when I recently did a reshuffle of my portfolio responsibilities within my team, I spoke to each of my members. I'm yet to have that conversation with Alison. Now, this is significant because Labor would have you believe, because they are the great deal makers, that the deal was put in place, some inducement was offered and she was lured to me. It's not the case.
You're saying there's no deal there of a ministry, but why wouldn't you consider her as a minister, or why wouldn't she be guaranteed a ministerial position, considering that, you know, she has such extensive experience in Indigenous affairs and has been the minister?
Yeah, well, Alison and I can work together. We're both passionate about making a difference, and it's on that basis that we'll work together. We'll have that conversation. I've got ideas. I've got things that I think that Alison could contribute in a very special way, but I'll have that conversation with Alison.
You weren't her first choice, not even her second choice. You're in fact her last choice as a political party. She was Labor and Independent, and now the CLP. Doesn't that concern you a little bit?
No, I deal with people and what moves them by conviction. Alison and I do go back some way. I trust Alison, having made this decision, is on the basis of what I have seen and what she lives with daily in remote communities. The disappointment, the profound disappointment, the tragedy, in fact, that's unfolding and for all the nation to see in Indigenous communities across the territory and across the country. And
but
so
how can you trust or rely on her when you look at her track record of walking away from political parties?
Yeah, but you have to then consider why did she walk away from the Labor Party? There was so much support provided to the Labor Party by Indigenous Territorians, so much expectation, and that was trashed. And there is now just devastating disappointment. What we want to see is real change. Alison has looked in our direction. She and I have a friendship. She has open dialogue with a number of people on our side who are all similarly have the conviction that there could be much better offered. And it's on that basis that this decision has been taken. It's in fact a courageous decision, and you shouldn't underestimate that. And I respect Alison for that, and we'll find that space where we can work together on the basis that we are determined to make a difference.
The CLP has been plagued by divisiveness in the last 12 months. Your leadership's been challenged. Won't bringing a volatile character such as Alison Anderson into that mix just create more problems for you?
What has sustained me all the way through this is my focus on things that matter. And the team is now resolved to focus on things that matter. It's not about Terry Mills, it's not about the Country Liberal Party, Paul Henderson, it's not about you, and it's not about the Labor Party. It's about people that live outside the political spectrum that are actually looking to us to provide a better way forward. And it's on that basis that we will continue, and I'll continue to make sure that we say and do things that are meaningful and provide some real hope to Territorians.
Terry Mills, thanks for talking with us.
No problem.